Okay, now look at each other. Okay. We are here. We're going to talk about imprisonment, incarceration, and the effects on the family. And this is Julie Strick. She's actually a friend of mine. We've met in the past. We used to go to church together. Mm-hmm. So her son is incarcerated. Why don't you tell us how you felt when you found out that your son had been indicted?
Terrifying is the only word that comes to my mind. It was just terrifying. We had no experience with anybody in prison besides family members who work in a prison, and so it was all very unknown, and I just could not believe what was happening.
Did you ever think that this would happen to you?
Never in a million years.
What do you think the thought process was for your son?
He is a eternal optimist, and so I think he was very naive and did not think that this was going to happen either. But as it became more apparent that he was probably going to prison, his personality helped him get through it, because he is positive about anything in life he goes through. So his attitude has gotten him through.
What did you do when you found out? Did you have to hire an attorney? Was he appointed an attorney?
We hired an attorney who was very bad, acted more like a prosecutor than somebody who was on our side. And so after a month of that and paying him and not being able to receive any kind of refund, we hired a new guy.
So you went through two attorneys that you paid?
Yes.
And then you liked him? You liked the second guy?
Yes, we really liked the second guy.
And he did his job, you felt?
Yes.
Okay. And the system itself, the prison system, I'm sorry, not the prison system, the judicial system, from day one to the end, how long did it take to get to the doors of the prison?
Well, I look at this as a positive thing. 16 months, I think, almost a year and a half.
Okay. And do you feel that the prosecutor was fair with your son?
No, not really. I think the other family involved, they were very involved, talked with the prosecutor a lot, so he had a lot of pressure on him. They wanted the maximum 25 years to life, and so I guess considering the pressure that was on him, he got Josiah half of that. But he did say in court, he said when we went to court, when we went to the sentencing, he'd offer 10 or 12 years. And if we asked for 10, he would not fight it. And he did. So that was a little disappointing.
And he ended up with 12 years?
Yeah.
How old is Josiah?
He's 24.
So he's going to be how old when he gets out?
He's getting out in 2029. So that will make him 33.
So he's still going to have a life when he gets out?
Yes, yeah.
How is this affecting him now?
Well, we have a lot of faith. God is very important to Josiah and to our family. So, and like I mentioned before, his attitude is good. He just rolls with the punches. So he has made the best of the situation. I think we don't know yet. I mean, we don't see people who are not supportive. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have, cut him off as friends.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. He doesn't hear from many of his friends. But again, he's made the best of it. So
when this all started happening, what was it like for you and your family?
It was like going through the grieving process over and over, where at first you cannot believe this is happening. And there was a lot of anger, and then a lot of depression, just over and over.
What about your marriage?
My marriage, it was good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. A lot of families do not do well with that in a marriage.
Yeah. Anything
Yes.
like that could break up a marriage. I know.
Absolutely. What about your other son?
He's very angry at
Mhm.
Josiah and for doing this to our family. I mean,
Mhm.
he witnessed it all, going, the pain Frank and I were in, and so the whole situation did not help their already strained relationship, and so the relationship is pretty much on hold right now.
Maybe that one day that will be resolved.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yes. Do you feel that he's able to sustain himself in prison? Do you feel that you have an obligation to help him?
Definitely feel an obligation to help him.
Mm-hmm.
My mom commits almost $200 to him a month, and usually that's enough. And he was working in a place called Impact where he was making minimum wage,
Mm-hmm.
and was able to get the things he needed. But he was laid in from that job, and he's worked as a pusher for 67 cents a day, and
Oh my.
now he is the lead musician in the band for the Christian call out, and so he gets paid for that.
Well, that's good. Do you know what the cost of stuff is in there?
No, I don't know. I don't know the cost of things. All I know is when he says, "Mom, I'm hungry, can you send me some money?" So
I think there's a misconception that you get 3 hots in a cot and you get provided your hygiene. I don't
No.
think that that's true.
That is not true.
Yes.
No. You get 3 meals available to you, but they're not quality food that is very appetizing. So we provide money so he can get stuff from commissary, which is still not healthy food. And they do offer occasionally, I forget what it's called, but it's a lot of fresher foods,
Right.
but it's not always available.
What about time on the yard or workout exercise? Do they allow him to have time to be healthy?
Yes.
That's good.
He has lots of time in the yard and in the gym.
Okay. And what about time to be able to see you, call you? Does that cost money?
Definitely costs money. I forgot to look up how much we spend on it a month, but at least $200 a month to talk to him, because he calls us every day because we're his lifeline.
Right. And he's 3 hours away from you? So during COVID, the visits have stopped, but when you do get to see him, you've got that expense to travel as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. We go down every Saturday and come back, and down every Sunday and come back.
Now, how long has it been since he's been in?
He went in January of 2018.
So it's been 2 years.
It's been almost 2 years.
How has the emotion subsided now that he's been in?
Now that he's been in, we've, accepted it. There's nothing else you can do. You have to accept it. You have no control over what's going on. And he's doing well. So it's easy. There were times when he wasn't doing well. He was threatened, and it was a nightmare.
Did that scare you?
Absolutely.
How are your relationships on the outside with your friends since that happened? Have you lost any? Have they strengthened? Has there been people there for you, or have they dropped off?
My long-term friends all stuck by me. All of our family stuck by us and supported us financially, emotionally, in prayer, in coming to the sentencing, writing letters on his behalf for the judge. And then the people who were nominal friends just kind of fell off, and I don't hear negatives. I think a lot of people protect me from negative things that people say to them.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You don't need the negativity in your life.
No.
If there was something you could tell the public to educate them about incarceration and families of the incarcerated, what would you tell them?
That's hard. I don't think Josiah is typical. I don't think most guys want to call their mom and dad every day. talk to them.
That's good that he does.
It's good that he does, and it's good. You got to have that support on the outside. I think a lot of guys in there feel forgotten. I think Josiah refuses to be forgotten. But some people's families don't have $200 to spend to talk. And since the COVID started, we get to speak to him 15 minutes every other day. And you cannot maintain a relationship on 15 minutes every other day.
No, you can't.
No. And it's, like you said, 2.5 hours for us to drive there. People from all over Kansas and other states, if they don't live in Kansas, but their loved one did before they were incarcerated, they have a long way to go. And
Right.
I don't know how you would maintain a marriage. I don't know how you would keep in contact with your kids and keep a relationship going if you didn't have the money to put on your loved one's books.
Right. Well, I guess it would be important to write if you could, and to call or have them call you. I guess you can't call them, but to at least scrape up a little bit and send if you could, or have the money sitting on the phone as little as you could if you had it, and at least let them know that you are there for them, and I guess stay in contact with their attorney. If somebody has a bad attorney, you had to fire your first one. How hard is it to do that and to find another one?
We had our second attorney recommended to us. A friend found him. So it wasn't hard.
And how expensive is that?
That was a long time ago, we had to have help. We had my mom bail him out, and that was a lot of money, but it gave us another 1.5 years with him. And my mom and my aunt paid for the attorney. So, without all that, he would have had, we would not have been able to hire somebody. It would have been
to have private or appointed counsel.
public, yeah.
So did they come to the house and arrest him and take him from you?
No. When we found out the charges had been filed, because our families had been trying to work on reconciliation, and it just wasn't going well. And so charges were filed, and when we found out, we were so scared. We didn't know what, any moment was somebody going to come to our door and take him. He was delivering food. That was his job for a Chinese place. Was he going to get pulled over and, were they going to take him? So we were living on pins and needles, not knowing
Absolutely.
what, and we didn't have, I don't know if we had an attorney at that time or not, but what was your question?
If they came to the house and took
Yeah.
him, or just, what was the process?
Well, okay, and then when we got the attorney, he was able to give us more information, and Josiah turned himself in.
Oh, okay.
And then he went to jail and got bailed out within a couple hours. So.
And then he self-surrendered to prison.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it would have been better for him to have stayed in and then went through the process of court and things versus the self-surrender?
No.
Because you're glad he stayed out and then did the self-surrender.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we had a mediator. And we had a mediation where another judge, who was not going to be his judge, we met with him, and he could give us an idea of what he thought, how he thought it was going to go, the sentencing. And he even tried to convince Josiah to go in, just go in now, get some months out of the way. And Josiah refused, and I'm glad he did.
Good.
Because we were able to, as a family, meet with the attorney. We were able to be involved.
Sounds like he is going to come out of prison a better man.
Yes, he is. Yep.
I have had the chance to write Josiah, and he has written me back, and he does sound content, and he does sound happy, and he does sound like he is thriving. He really does. I was very happy when I read the letter that he wrote me.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed, and it sounds like he is turning out to be a very good young man.
Yes,
So
I agree.
So if there's anything else you would like to say, go ahead, and if not, we'll go ahead and conclude the interview.
I don't think there's anything else.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.